Okay, I haven't had a chance to do much on this lately because of the weather, but got a good day today, so I can finish what I did start the other day. As far as for cutting out that section, trying to make use of the space under here, I've lowered the floor down, put a brace in here. I've got to weld it all out yet, it's all just sitting clamped at the moment, so that'll give me more draw room. So in here it's the full width as a drawer, so now when I put my big headboard in here with the drawer in here, I'll have a big drawer that slides out going right back, and that's about 500 back, so it's quite a big drawer. I've still got to patch up the sides here, put some plates in here on the sides, all that sort of stuff. And when I build the drawer for under here, I'll build a drawer taller than that and just box over top of it, because it's all going to be behind a big flat wall here, so I'll make it bigger on behind here, and then I can put another brace over top for the next lot of drawers to sit on as a brace, so they don't sag down in the back and jump around. I'll make a piece like a little wedge thing, so when the drawer's completely shut, the very back of the drawer is pinched between two little angle bits, so the back of the drawer doesn't do this and they just jump around and flop out and all that sort of stuff. So that's that part sorted. And I've had an idea in the back here. Again, I've changed my mind a little bit. I've dropped the big tray in here. I've just got to weld it all out. It's all just sitting in here at the moment, so I've got to weld across the back, all across the back here, and I've got to weld these two sheets across here, then get underneath and stitch all that to the little cross beam that's in across here. I've left the original structural beam in here just to help keep the body right, plus it gives a bit of strength, stop it from twisting around. But this is it's 350 by 350 size I've managed to make. I was going to go right back under here, but to the cavity, but I've decided what I've changed my mind as is I don't want to put this right back for a certain reason. I had an old Waco, so I pulled all the compressor unit out, spent hours and hours with foam freaking everywhere. My whole floor of my lounge was covered in foam trying to unpick it all. So I've just taken the cooler element out, and it used to be square inside there with the compressor on the end. Now I've pulled it all out and I've flattened it out, just very gently squished it with a couple of bits of wood either side and a clamp, and it's all aluminium, so it all folded back quite neatly. And I've straightened it out. What I'm going to do is I've got this corner here bent this way, this is the original bend. I've straightened this out, and I've got to find the right spot to bend this end so that it fits in here. Now I figured that was a 21 litre fridge freezer, and that thing could freeze anything. So I figure, well, a little bit larger volume, it should be easy enough to take care of that. I don't think it's going to turn on and off any more than normal. Once it's the temperature, it'll be fine. And I'll put split lids on here, so I'm not opening a huge lid at one time. I'll just one bit to get something down this side, or lift this side up to get into this side. And the reason I didn't go back under here is because I'm going to cut a hole out of here and sink a box into it that the compressor will fit in. The compressor will have a vent on one side to let air in and a vent on the other side to let the air out. So underneath all of this, in behind all this panel, I can run a piece of ducting straight into the back of into this. Now, because these have got the big vents up in here on the outside, I can draw air through this one and blow air out through this one up to here, which means I can keep that all completely watertight and submerge it completely underwater, and I'm not going to worry about the refrigerator unit shorting or buzzing or something going wrong and losing my fridge. So, and the Waco I've had it for years, it's been reliable, but now I went and bought a new one to put in here, but the new one's bigger than the old one, so I'll put the bigger one in the ute and use the smaller one as a parts for this. So it's slowly coming along. Just got the floor set up here now, just a matter of welding it all out and getting it all tacked in, put some sides in here. And for a fridge and that, when I do this, I'm going to make a drop-in stainless one that'll be sort of maybe 20 mil thick, maybe. It'll sit inside this one, and I'm going to weld that in, and then I'm going to fill the rest of it with expanding foam to create insulation around the whole lot. And so I don't lose distance down here, as you can see there's a gap on the side, so I'm going to put the wall in about here, and then add an extra cap on the outside. They might even just rivet it on or tack it on, that's full of a cavity to fill with foam. So I can fill everything all up, and then even the lids, I'll make the lids and then fill the lids full of foam as well, so they're all sealed. But I figure 20mm should be thick enough. Like on the outside of that thing, it was barely 15mm thick, so it obviously doesn't make, you know, I could probably even use some refrigerator panel on the inside of it and just stick it in there and then drop something in there maybe. But it's coming along. Yeah, haven't done much more on the front. I'm sort of jumping around it at the moment. I'm just trying to get all the stuff that goes through the floor done so that I can lift the chassis out from under it. So because I've propped it all up at the moment, I've got it just sitting all up on some railway track with some tyres, good old jack stand, and that's just holding the tin in place at the moment so I can get some tacks on it. But otherwise it's slowly coming along, and once I get all the chassis out from under it, I can deal with the chassis, get all the suspension sorted and make that all working. I've decided I'm going to cut the mounts off at the front here that go for the body. I'm going to chop the, because I'm going to use the front axle, I need the bracket that has the mounting for the arm, so I'm going to chop that out and move the body mount for that in a bit. Just chop it off the outside, chop the mount I need off, then move the body mount up back against the chassis rail. It just means that the body won't be bolted on the outside corner, it'll just be bolted in about 150 further in. But there's body mounts all the way along here, and I've taken half the, well, 3/4 of the weight out of the cab, so it's not like it's going to hurt being in a little bit over there. And anyway, the chassis comes in anyway, so yeah, so that's where I'm at the moment. I'll do another update soon. Now that the weather's good, I can actually get out here with the welder. I'm not going to go sitting out here in the rain. As you can tell, I've got no roof above me, so I'm working out of a lean-to. But yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. I'll give you more of an update when I get to it. Cheers.